All right, you guys, welcome back to another episode of Cut the Shit Get Fit. I am your host, Rafal Matuszewski, and I'm psyched again because I think this might be 3 Wednesdays in a row that I haven't had a migraine. So I am really pumped. I'm really pumped about that, and honestly, the only thing that I've really changed has been changing my work station setup. I bought one of those fancy little laptop lifting things for my laptop, so I'm not like looking down and cranking on my neck, and a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. So it's a little bit less aggressive on all the stuff that revolves around my head going into forward flexion. And then on top of that, finding a physiotherapist has probably been like one of the best things that I've done in a while. But finding a physio that is like a little wizard of a person trying to figure out my pain and like getting needles stuck into the back of my head. And ever since then, it's been really good. But I feel like I can talk about migraines and headaches for ever because I've been dealing with that forever. But that's not the topic of today's show. We're going to be talking about some weight loss specific things, kind of. It's not going to be like eat X amount of grams of protein. No, it's not going to be like that. But I was kind of thinking back. Funny that I said that. Thinking back to a couple topics I brought up, years ago. And, one of the biggest pain points I find for people who have a tough time losing weight and, just going to the gym in general is that lack of motivation. And I think a lot of people listening or watching can, agree that, after some time of constantly going to the gym, trying to cook healthier, things like that, your motivation kind of runs out and you feel, kind of lost and you just don't want to do it anymore. Like that whole oomph that you had in the beginning is like lost and you're like, fuck, is it even worth it anymore? And number one, like motivation is a feeling. And I've talked about this before on my podcast, and it's been a while since I brought this up, but like you got to remember that motivation is a feeling, just like being happy or sad, right? You can't be happy 24/7 nonstop, just like you can't be sad 24/7 nonstop, right? It comes in waves. Motivation comes in waves, like you fucking watch, I don't know, an inspirational YouTube video of people training and there's guy in the background basically yelling at you some motivational sayings, and there's like music going and you're like, fuck, I'm going to the gym tomorrow morning. Fuck that, I'm going right now. I'm going to work out. I'm blah, blah, blah. Like, it comes in waves. So you can't be too hard on yourself, number one, thinking that you have to be motivated all the time. Like there are days where I go to the gym and I'm like, fuck, like right now, literally finished my day at work and I'm like, fuck, I need to get my workout in. And I'm like, it'll be so much easier to just go home and hang out with my wife and dog and have a beer on the patio because it's nice and warm and hot, or literally just sit in front of my AC unit while drinking beer. Like I could go do that, but I knew I needed to get my deadlifts in, and that's a whole other story of why I'm just doing deadlifts. But I had to get it in, and I wasn't really there, and the workout kind of sucked, and I'm like, whatever, but I got it done at least, I could have easily just sunk in and been like, you know what, I'm just going to go home and make things easier for myself. And that's what us humans prefer to do. We'd rather do what's easier, like if you ask anybody, even ask yourself, like, would you rather do it the hard way or the easy way? You'd pick the easy way. It's the same thing with our bodies. Like, I have to physically get out of my desk, change into workout gear, start a warm-up, and then do some heavy lifting. Like, that's a lot of effort. And I don't think, the general population gives themselves enough credit. Like, in order for you to go to a gym, or even in your own house that you've, built a little workout area because of COVID, like, it takes a lot of effort to actually, like, get into the zone of training and, like, pushing yourself. So if you're doing that once or twice a week, or if you're one of those people that have, like, are doing 3 days a week nonstop, like, that is impressive. So, like, you need to celebrate that, because most people can't keep a consistent schedule. So if you are physically showing up every week, if it's one a week, twice a week, whatever it is, like, good on you. Like, that's really, really good. Like, you need to be celebrating those small wins. But going back to the original topic, because I'm, like, kind of going all over the place today. When you have those times when you've lost your motivation and you have all the greatest intentions in the world that you want to, improve your health, finally see weight loss, whatever it is, in order to keep that motivation kind of, lit, like, just kind of like when you start a fire, like, you need to continually add pieces of wood in there to keep it burning, right? Motivation is the same thing. So how do you do that? How do you quantify that? How do you keep that flame alive? And the one little simple strategy that I always do with myself and with my clients is to think back to when you've had those high amounts of motivational feelings to keep you going. So if you think back from day one, that feeling where you're like, I can't wait to get to the gym, I can't wait to change my life, I can't wait to move and feel better, like those feelings, that's when you'll be able to get that little spark back. And I think a lot of people are missing that. They forget where they started from. And I remember looking back at some of my old posts, and one thing that popped up was a picture of me when I used to be overweight. And, I think I need to start bringing that up. Sorry, like, video cut out. That was super weird. But like I said, I think I need to start bringing up the fact that I used to be overweight, because, every time I have a conversation with somebody, and even if I've known them for like a year, or I've been training them for a year, and they had no idea I used to weigh over 200 pounds, and I had this huge, like, weight loss story. So I need to start bringing that up. So for those who don't know, listening to my show right now, like, I used to weigh over 200 pounds, and over a course of a summer dropped 60 pounds. And literally I took the extreme route of going cold turkey, working out 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day, and eating anything but vegetables and protein. And literally the weight just fell off. But, extreme example, but the point of this was that I saw this old post of a photo of me at that weight, and on top of the photo I wrote down, never forget where you started from. And, for many of you, you probably have transformed. Like, if you've seen a little bit of success, like, you've probably lost maybe 10 pounds, 20 pounds, whatever it is. And you need to think back of, like, all those successes. Like, even if you lost 30 pounds and then gained the 30 back, like, at one point of your life, you had that success, and you remember how that felt. You remember how it felt to see the weight come off. You remember how it felt, putting on clothes that never fit before, or clothes that you wanted to try on and never fit, and then you finally could buy them. Like, all those things matter. And one of the greatest, motivators is what's within us already. So if you remember the feelings that you had when you first decided to make, fitness a priority, you started going to the gym, you bought a new set of Tupperware to put all your new food in, and all that kind of shit that comes along with feeling happy and motivated to start, exercising, that's going to kind of keep you going. It's going to take you over. And, like, look at old photos of yourself. If you've lost some weight and kept it off, like, look at the old photos of you. You're going to be like, holy shit, I can't believe I used to look like that, and look how far I've come, how far I've came. And like, you can use that to fuel that fire and keep you going. And again, this kind of proves my point of like my earlier podcast episodes, where we don't take the time to actually be alone with our thoughts, to actually work shit out. We're all reactive. That's all we do. All day we react. We never, take a second to like simmer down and feel what we're feeling. Like, try to like be analytical of our feelings, kind of like, Sheldon in Big Bang Theory. Like, he tries to figure out what feeling he should have in a certain situation. We don't do that. It's kind of silly, but we just react. I manage a clinic, and when I deal with employees, patients, customers, whatever it is, and rather than like right away reacting to it, I take a second to, assess the situation and then figure out what the best approach is. But for us, like, we step on a scale and it's the same, or it's a pound over, all we do is react. You don't take the time to go, okay, did I sleep well last night? Am I, like, if I'm a female, am I at a certain point in my cycle? Did I have a meal last night that was really, really big than usual? Did I eat more carbs yesterday? How's my hydration levels? Like, you don't ask yourself those things. You just step on and you're like, oh, fuck, like, I'm not, like, losing weight. Nothing's working. You're reactive. Like, we need to be more conscious of what we're actually feeling, what our thoughts are trying to tell us, because our body constantly gives us signals and constantly gives us the opportunity to figure out our own shit. But we just don't take that opportunity, because it's like, you wake up, you're reacting to the day, you get to work, you're reacting to work, you get home, you're reacting to all your house duties, your kids, you're reactive, whatever, and then at the end of the night, you somehow have to give like time for your partner, but that never really happened, so you're reactive to that situation. You realize that they're pissed at you for some reason, and you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with all this? And then again, you're reactive. It's a constant, cycle. But if we take time to be alone with our own thoughts, to figure out what's going on, like, we can work our shit out. So I'm going to leave it there, because I can kind of keep going on this whole topic, but you want to take the opportunity to think back in your past when you were successful with weight loss, when you were, feeling excited to start your journey in fitness, or anytime you've seen success. And that's going to help you carry over during those dark times where you're just like, fuck, like, I don't want to go to the gym. You practice this is going to help quite a bit. And it's helped me so many times. Like, just sometimes, like, watching old videos that I've posted, and I'm like remembering that point in time in my life. I'm like, well, fuck, I was like so motivated at that point, and I try to like relive those memories, and I'm like, yeah, like, I'm gonna get through the gym today. And that's what I did today. And I'm like, fuck, I remember watching my video where I like deadlifted 300 for the first time, so pumped. I'm not deadlifting 300 today, but I'm going to like hammer out my 6 sets to the best of my ability and, do it up. And, here I am. I got my workout in. I feel good. And I'm excited to go home. Like, the day is good. The day is fucking awesome. And you guys are fucking awesome. So I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. I'm sorry that the video cut out halfway through. Thank you for the support, you guys. My book is coming out soon. Hit the show notes. Put yourself on the pre-sale list. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm going to continue giving you the best fitness and health advice out there. Till next time, you guys.